Today in the lab, we ask the question, are all good parents certified in CPR?
Today's episode is brought to you by Baby Bjorn. Safety comes first and foremost in the design of all their products. Baby Bjorn.
The answer to today's question is, of course, yes.
But don't take it from us because we have experts.
Accidents can and do happen, and so we encourage people to learn CPR. It's a life skill, really. We consider it a life skill. So parents, caregivers, teenagers, babysitters, really it is something that doesn't take a lot of time to learn and can be the thing that is the difference between someone surviving or not surviving. I mean, it's an important parenting skill for your own child. So if your child has a situation where they would need CPR, I mean, we'll talk about, obviously, if a child falls into a pool or because we're talking about water, it's being able to give CPR to your child. I, as a parent, want to be able to provide that. I feel like as a responsibility, people can take a class and they're not long classes. I would say give a couple of hours that could potentially save your child's life or another life. It's worth it. Hopefully you don't ever have to use it. I mean, really, if you do, then you're prepared and can respond quickly because, you know, seconds count. You know, as a parent, as a caregiver, really as a citizen, I think to be able to respond, like I said, it's not that complicated, and we have fantastic partners in the community that can help that, provide that certification and teach those classes in a real non-threatening way and sort of demystify how difficult it is.
First thing that we do with the Expedition School is to make sure it's fun and it's realistic to what's going on with the situation that you're presented with. And then secondly, help lay the foundation and build the confidence to prepare for, prevent, and respond to any emergency that does arise. Everything is hands-on, and with the school we really believe in getting everyone's hands in what you're going to be learning. So it's very active. You're, on the ground, kneeling, up on the board, writing, the different ratios, compressions to breath ratios. We want to make sure that once we present the education that you can regurgitate it no problem, because all it takes is the second you leave class, anything can happen. Well, you can learn from the American Red Cross, the American Heart Association. At the top level, you've got CPR AED for the healthcare provider or the pro rescuer. And there you learn how to perform CPR on an infant, child, or adult. You learn how to utilize an automated external defibrillator, also known as an AED. You learn how to rescue breathe in case someone does have a pulse and is not breathing. And you also learn just basics like the Heimlich maneuver. And that's a 4-hour course. And that typically runs anywhere from $50 to $75. Going down from there, you can itemize it, right? You can just take adult CPR, child CPR, or infant CPR, just as one class for a 2-hour segment, and those typically run $25. There's so many resources out there. It blows me away what technology has at our fingertips, and you can literally go to either website, American Heart Association or Red Cross, and look at different videos and look at the different courses and the different updates. One of my most favorite things to do as an educator is to provide these courses and then see how the families use them to their advantage. It's funny because it's like scare tactics, and we don't want to be the scare tactic people by any stretch of the imagination. But the reality of life is that anything and everything does happen, and we want to make sure that people are aware of those things, and we want to make sure that they're loaded with great information, great skills, and great confidence to know how to handle those situations when an emergency, true emergency, does arise.
Daddy Brad, some parents are taking care of this early while they're still expecting. They'll take their CPR certification classes in tandem with the birth classes, which is a really smart idea.
But keeping the certification up to date is kind of tough. So why don't you turn it into a father-daughter or father-son activity? You can learn to save lives and then go get some ice cream.
It used to be easier for me to stay certified because it was required in the contract of my job when I was a teacher.
It's in your DadLabs contract. You're required to be a good parent.
Well, better start brushing up the resume. If you think that CPR is a requirement for being a good parent, tell us about it over at DadLabs.com. Join the community there. Join in the conversation because we want to hear from you.
I'd like to thank our sponsor, Baby Bjorn. The folks at Baby Bjorn would want you to get certified because they are obsessed with safety. Baby Bjorn.
That's all for us this week. We'll see you next time here on The Lab.